So here we are. What is this about? I'm an entrepreneur running 3 companies. Being an old hand at software development, I started programming 40 years ago. Not kidding. I'm not good at video creation, and my equipment is crappy. But regarding the topic, I feel fancy images and clips usually are of no real use whatsoever. In my age, you do what you can do, and don't waste time on those unnecessary bells and whistles you're not good at. Life's short, it really is. I usually work 60 to 80 hours per week. I can't afford to waste too much time on much ultimately useless bling-bling, so don't mind me saying I give a damn. In case you find me sounding weird. Not only my voice often is quite rough, partly due to medical issues and my equipment being low-fi. I'm also no native speaker, as some of you may have guessed. And though I do speak English rather fluently, you might encounter some weird mistakes. Grammar, pronunciation, or language. A British friend attested me a Russian accent, though I'm not Russian, not even close. An American friend thought I was from New Zealand, and my Australian buddy once guessed I was British, while the Brits usually had no clue where I grew up. However, most were all wrong. Maybe leave your educated guess as a comment. I'll surely provide some more background in the course of videos I plan for. However, one additional info about me probably is to be covered, since I'm going to do something rather unusual. You know, I also used to be a musician, playing piano and drums. I even played on large stages across Europe. So I thought it might be a good idea to have each video feature a song. What you're hearing in the background right now I composed in 1992, for example, and recently gave it a bit of a more modern touch. However, today I'll feature something else, and quite special at the end of this video. If my music isn't for you, I don't mind you skipping and moving right to the main content, where I will cover several aspects of software development. Well, as already said, regarding my overall workload, I need to focus a bit, so I will utilize AI to different degrees. I mean, I have my drums, several synths, and some software ready, but for example, I can't sing. Well, not anymore. To get things done in a timely manner, I for sure need to utilize artificial intelligence assistance. Please bear with me. Also, I'm not sure if I will manage to get the scripting ready every time, and the video content will mainly be screen capturing only. Additionally, being a bit paranoid, though I'm not ugly, I just don't want everybody to see me. Besides the fact that I don't want to tidy up my room or get proper cameras and video equipment just to please you guys. Focus, remember. Back to topic. What do I plan to cover on this channel? I will focus on the Squirrel language, my Gonets toolchain, and when it comes to extensibility I will also cover some C++ parts. I just feel that Squirrel is underestimated and almost vanished from the scene, so I want to share what it is capable of and how to do things with it. Being a scripted language running on bytecode, intended to be used mainly for games, it offers a lot also for other areas of software development. We should talk about how Squirrel works, its quirks and caveats, how to embed it to your project or bind C++ code, but also what GoNuts already adds up. GoNuts is basically turning Squirrel into a real standalone language. We've been working on and using it for more than a decade now. It adds real multi-threading, an event system, sockets and networking, a system for modular extensions, an improved debugging interface, XML support, and lots more. In fact, me personally writing almost all code in Squirrel with GoNuts, backend server code, middleware, data harvesting, mail servers, invoice creation, whatever the customer needs, most I can do using Squirrel nowadays. I've written 10,000s if not 100,000s of lines in Squirrel. And it just occurred to me, no, I do not want to earn money with this channel. I mean, okay, I won't turn it down, but it's not my approach at all. I just want to get you guys started and will be happy if in the end the result is that more than a dozen of devs use Squirrel again. Unfortunately, that's my current estimation. A dozen. That's hilarious, let's change that. Well, now slowly to the end of the torrent of words. This first video is just an introduction, and for you to get an idea. And as you noticed, it's showing just some static screenshots, also of the IDE I just started working on. Next video might be just a song again. I am currently mastering a song which is, well, kind of advertising the GoNuts toolchain. But of course I'll get to the real thing soonish. Maybe I'm just having too much fun with my music right now. Speaking of which, I promised a special feature. Let's get into it now. For the sake of mood, now please close your eyes. Imagine you and your buddies or colleagues attending a large developer convention. The organizer really allures everybody to come to the after-show party this evening. You decide to go there, finding yourself at a huge party in a sports arena, and there is a large stage, and maybe some other people spilling in from another event. It turns out this evening, in fact, is a festival including a concert, and they play quite a lot of my songs. Now imagine, after having a really good time with this large crowd, everybody is quite drunk, asking for the encore, and the band comes back on stage. The audience and even the band losing it, wreaking havoc on sound engineers. This is how it sounds. Enjoy.
Semicolon outlaw has caused such distress. Oh, the code it breaks and the bugs they bite. I lose more battles in the dead of night. Keyboards, my hammer smashing through despair. Why does my program defect in air? A merge gone wrong, now the repo's on fire. It's like a puzzle I didn't desire. Branching reality, nothing makes sense. Commit my sanity, there's no recompense. Oh, the code it breaks and the bugs they bite. I debug bunch, yes, the word is right. Keyboards, my hammer smashing through despair. Why does my program defect in air? Binary dreams, tangled logic knots, endless loops in my mind, taking all these shots. Error windows flashing bold and red. Another night wasted, no sleep, no bed. A comment I wrote is an artifact stone. The code lives on, but it still feels alone. Version control is a beast I can't tame. A war between branches and none to blame. The code it breaks and the bugs they bite. I debug now in an endless night. Keyboards, my hammer smashing through despair. Suddenly I feel like in a dragon